So I think that there's a way for us to interrupt the chaos that's coming. So I have a background in product marketing. What does that mean? I do research and I do both customer and competitor market research. I'm a big old nerd. I love to learn about different business models, what other people are doing in the market, and how customers are being served and the value they're getting. Um, and one of the things that stands out for me is that 5C model that is one of the quintessential marketing models. And I was going through it again because it's just such a foundational model for um, understanding your market space. And so I was journaling the other day with this um, marketing model, and I want to share with you some thoughts because ultimately, what's going on in the world right now at large is many people are losing their jobs. Many people are being squeezed out by these business models that have become cancerous to our society because they often do not focus on customer value and on meeting needs. So when we think about the launches that many of the people in the startup world were doing, a lot of them were doing things because they were cool and they were interesting and it was showing technology advancing. But I think at this stage, we no longer are excited about technology. We're more so excited about the opportunity to get things done faster, save time, energy, money, and attention, as well as connect. And finally, self actualize. So, whatever that means for AI, for blockchain, for virtual reality, I want to refocus the business community on the needs of their clients, on service, because we've turned everything into a productized world. Like buying, instead of getting service to get your nails done, a lot of people end up with nail stickers, with nail press-ons, not because, and I'm not saying I've never done it myself, but because we're broke, as well as because it's become more easy than ever to create these things. So as companies have used their product ideas to innovate, it's driven the cost down, technology has democratized access to stuff, which is all good, right? Like, so now instead of spending $100 on your nails, you can spend $10 on stick-ons, and it makes more people get the opportunity to have nice nails. So those are positives. But in these systems, we end up giving people within our own class, we end up taking away their ability to survive and support their family. And we end up giving it to these companies that benefit from economies of scale that can produce and do the research and develop these products. And so the expertise for the customer, when we're thinking about getting our nails done, for example, I don't know what to look for. And so a lot of these nail tech kits and stuff like that, like when you go to to get a service to go to the nail salon, a lot of times those um, people are able to put things in place, have enough knowledge to make this safer and more um, just better for the customer. You get often a more eco-friendly because they're more knowledgeable, or you get masks that are on the person who's using the stuff. If you're the person doing the thing, you need the mask. But a lot of us, when we're doing our DIY solutions, they end up being um, unable you don't know what you're putting in your body, what you're putting on your nails, and you only get to know the hacks on the internet, for example, but you don't understand how they interact, and there's just more negative outcomes because we're all overwhelmed, right? Like in this productized world, there's so much information coming at you, and there's no subject matter expertise that you're able to get on one thing or another because you're responsible for all of it, right? So there's no handyman that's going to be able to come through and help you out as much anymore. Not because there aren't people who know how to do this thing, but because right now they'll just say, "Oh, buy a cheap new thing," and instead of repairing what you have before and getting something made bespoke for you, you're going to end up doing a DIY project that might not be the same quality and ends up, or you might just buy the product as is, and a lot of times it's not fulfilling. It's like buying a new built home and not being able to adjust anything because everything is about the resale value, right? And then in this productized world, we don't get to enjoy the collaboration and craftsmanship as much anymore, right? And so as we are figuring out what to do as we go forward, keep some of this stuff in mind. Like I said, I wrote some ideas down, and I've been talking about service for a while. Um, because the truth is that public sentiment is going to continue to get more and more angry at supporting us. Um, there's going to be more unemployment, right? Um, that's going to give the government and corporations more leverage. And when we think about what's going on right now, that climate part of the 5C model, and the 5Cs are a go to market strategy. So, a market um, framework that allows you to figure out what you're missing from your plans and how to understand the market at large. So, you see the competition, the climate, the company, the channels, and the customer, right? So, the notes I was saying before about the value, the things that are going on currently, mass unemployment, corporate rule, these people are betting that we're going to stay addicted to TV news, drama, stress, and work. And these people are convinced that the fear and oppression that they are feeding to us is going to keep us from stepping out and trying to self actualize with any of these tools. Instead of looking at AI as a way to help you become more able to respond and to come up with something specific and to do um, more, better, smarter, faster work, um, the idea is that AI is gonna replace you. The idea is that it's not a companion to humanity, it is a replacement of humanity. And humanity loves humanity and humans want to stay alive, right? Like I don't think anybody who has different belief systems than me are hoping that humanity is going to die out and not be able to function unless you're part of this small class of rich people, right? So, how do we starve out those who are trying to continue to hold dominion over us um, by their ownership of our commerce, by their ownership of our um, household goods, by their ownership of our jobs, by their ownership of our communication channels, we start to serve each other. If we were to create economies that are based off of expertise, interest, and service again, we will be able to counteract the leverage that these big corporations have, starve them out because we will be able to start circulating the dollars in between each other more. And because of that, not going to the Walmarts, to the Targets, to the Amazons, but going to a local store which might have products, or a doing a class to learn how to make that journal instead of buying a journal, right? All these different things. When you try to find people to be served by and to serve, it creates the community that we're missing. Every single friend I have in my life right now is so meaningful and important to me. And I found them through joining different organizations, not even really committing to being a part of the organization a long time, but showing up for events and talking to people. And like literally all my emergency contacts, all of the people who called me on my birthday the other day, my my people here are coming from following my interests, following my need for community, and opening up when I'm there. And I love these people now, and they love me. And we didn't have to go through work to find each other, right? We didn't have to uh, like meet in college or Bumble BFF, right? We do want to see and hang out with each other. We do want to share our skills and our talents in a way that allows us to attract the people who like us, serve them, and um, contribute to our community. That's what we all really want, right? It's impact. And if we were to make more service based business, where if you are um, I have a friend who is really into athletics and went to school for exercise science, I think. I can ask him. But he started a coaching service. His name's Kaiser. He is one of my referrals. I found that that service now is supporting the kids that are growing up in his neighborhood, supporting the parents that are looking for activities to do with these kids. By him deciding that he's not going to keep that talent and love for exercise and fitness for him to himself and for his kids, by deciding that he's going to go to market to serve the children of his community and the parents who need more activities and need more support in helping their kids to become better athletes. He's created a community and a way to make impact without the need of these huge infrastructures to choose him and pick him and his community. And there's a lot of talk about being a pick me that is going on in the zeitgeist right now, and there's a lot of talk about being like our resources are being dwindled and taken away from us, right? It just is what it is, what it is. And if we decide, you know what, um, I'm going to launch something of my own. I'm going to think of my best lifestyle and believe that in that lifestyle, I am able to serve my community, be served back, and facilitate the lifestyle that I want. Then we have created a way of looking, a North Star for combating the desperation that is required for those people to oppress us. I hope that makes sense. Because ultimately, they need us to think we have no other options in the channels they've given us. They need us to think that we can only be of service to our community and only be of validity to our community if we decide that we are going to use them as the middleman. But I am pretty sure that your neighbor and you, regardless of whether or not there are isms between you guys, I am pretty sure that you know more about the needs of your neighbors and the needs of your community and the needs of your peers than the people who are so distant from it now because of economics and because of power. And so most of us want to be served. Most of us don't want the mental burden and the headache of having to learn to be good at everything so that they can just survive. Most of us want to focus. And most of us want to have community and friends and impact. And we can do all of those things, including reunite a middle class and answer the needs of our communities by moving to service-based business models that rely more on expertise and skill than this productized world where everything is about racing to the bottom in terms of price and in terms of algorithms and all of the above. This has been on my heart for a while. I hope that I've articulated it well. And so, another thing I wrote down when I was having this brainstorming session is that when you choose to think that you're alone, and man, has that been on my heart. Man, has that been painful. Um, Feeling I'm alone. And there's a lot of pain in feeling like you need these specific people to choose you. Um, and then I remembered the song Everywhere You Look. There's a place, there's a place for somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, everywhere is the heart. I love that song. And um, it got stuck in my head the other day. And it's so true. And literally, money is about a trade of value. And if it is true that everywhere you look, there's somebody who needs you, you just have to figure out how to serve them so, who you want to serve and what you want to do for them and serve them in a way that facilitates the lifestyle you want. I am putting that into practice right now in Recall It All, and I want to encourage you out there to start using your creativity, using your skills, using your love and your capacity for love and sharing and empathy to find a way to, instead of spending the years that it might take to recover from all of this that's going on, of trying to find a way to get the system to pick you again, is to choose yourself and to choose your neighbors and to choose to be going back to the things that are so foundational to what has always worked for us: service, more businesses, more communal, um, more community, more self actualization, more dreams. I hope this was helpful. I hope that this inspires you because you have so much more leverage than you know. And all of these systems need you to buy into smallness. It is required for people to extract from you and violate you. They need you to buy into smallness, the idea that you can't and should not fight back. But you can starve your bullies by limiting their access to you and by insulating yourself with the people who know, like, and trust you. And you got to believe that they're out there, even if you don't know many of them right now. And you got to decide that to those people who know, like, and trust you, you are going to love on them and you are going to serve them. And you are going to be able to do that in a way that they appreciate you for, that meets their needs, also that helps you to have the fulfilling lifestyle that you want. Because the world is still beautiful and people are still beautiful. And you have lots of creativity that I'm sure you've given away. So take the time, hopefully, this resonates with you, to think through what it is going on right now, what the people you want to serve need, and how you can deliver it in a way that gives you the lifestyle you want. And that is this video. Have a fabulous weekend. Take care.